Obviously really proud of our guys' defensive performance tonight against what I think is one of the best offensive teams in the country. I think Tim runs some amazing stuff, really puts you in vulnerable positions defensively. They spread the floor, run ball screen slips, and different combination of ball screens. I really thought it started with Micah. I thought Micah did an unbelievable job on Kendrick. I think Davis is one of the best point guards I've seen on tape all year. And, I pulled Micah to the side, shoot around today. I said, you realize how much faith we have in you? You're a freshman. We're asking you to guard one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard in the league. And I thought he took ownership in that. And then Chris McNeil, Zach Harvey, and Keith Williams also did a good job on him. I think our press was a big part of today, the ability to keep them off balance, and then our ball screen defense. Especially when we were kind of in and out offensively, didn't really gain a rhythm until Jaren really got it going. So overall, really proud of the guys' execution. Coach Morris did an outstanding job in game planning with us in terms of his scout, and our personnel awareness is where it needed to be. So from a defensive perspective, we'll go back and look at the film. I'm sure there's things we've got to clean up, but overall, I was pleased with the performance tonight from the defensive perspective.
Last game, you had a top 15 defense in Temple and scored 89 points on them. This game, it's a top 25 offense in SMU. You hold them to 43. Does that speak to how much the team is buying into game plans and focus on what you guys want from them in situations like that?
That's a great question, Chad. So, there's three forms of communication in our program: player to player, player to coach, and coach to coach. And we don't really worry about anything else. So when that's at a high level of synergy, then I think you got a chance to be successful. We put a lot of focus in some certain areas during this week of preparation, not just for SMU, but some areas we needed to clean up, and I thought our guys did a great job of doing it in practice and then bringing it out and executing it again.
They're really good and efficient on offense, but they play slow, at least in terms of pace numbers. Does that change how you guys do or approach anything when it's kind of a unique?
Not really, because if you look at our defense, we want to go late in shot clock. That's a sign of a good defense. We want to play fast offensively and slow the game down defensively from the standpoint of being able to be in front of the ball and constantly make it difficult for them to score. They're really good in transition on missed shots, and they take care of the ball and they get great shots on made shots, and that causes they're going deep into the shot clock. But their efficiency numbers is off the charts. Listen, they missed some shots. I mean, the Mike was 2 for 12, 2 for 9. That's never happens. It may not happen again this year. I'd like to think we had something to do with it.
Jaren scored 28. He's flexing at the TV camera, getting the crowd going, feeding off the energy. It felt like. How much fun for you and this team is it to watch him take over a game like he did tonight?
Well, it was great. From a coaching perspective, you always want guys. If you can get a scoring output like that, you get a good chance to win. He felt it tonight, and he got great shots. A few of the threes were a little deeper than I anticipated them being, but he was in rhythm, and then a lot of it was defense to offense and the defensive plays that he made. So it was fun watching him. Certainly I think he does a great job of getting his teammates involved as well, and we needed him to take over because we weren't extremely efficient offensively. Crisco didn't play the games he normally plays and finish around him like he normally does, and obviously Keith got a little bit of foul trouble. We had some guys off the bench that typically give us more. They gave us a lot defensively, which is the main thing, but offensively we'll get more out of them going forward.
Earlier this year, you mentioned you're waiting to see Jaren flourish and be the player that everyone knows he can be the last 3 years here. Are you starting to see in this stretch of conference play that he's 100% healthy and being the preseason conference player of the year that everyone expects?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely healthy, and he's got, listen, I didn't coach him before, so everybody says what Jaren looked like before. I'm not sure what that was, okay, but I know what I see now. And a big part of them putting him on the ball more was the fact that he was in great shape and he had some pop, he felt healthy, and he was able to do the things he's capable of doing. And, I say it all the time, great players have the ability to make the game easier for others. For example, me, I couldn't make the game easier for anybody, okay? There's certain guys, Kendrick Davis is the world, Jaren Cummings is the world, they make the game easier for others. The game just flows better when they're playing well. I think Jaren's in that place right now.
You talked after the Memphis game about you had to go to your bench at one point and it kind of flattened out, especially in the first half. You were able to steal some minutes. I think you went full five bench guys. Does that talk to the progress maybe they've made or just maybe some rotation stuff?
It does. Zach Harvey, for example, is practicing well. He brings it every day in practice. Mamadou, I didn't think he played his best game today, but we're going to go back to him because he's built a lot in the bank in terms of what he's deposited in terms of effort and focus. Chris McNeil, his numbers never pop out, but he's so important to what we do. So I thought the bench was really good in the first half, particularly from a defensive standpoint.
You've always preached you want your teams to be playing their best basketball in March. Now that we're about a month away, where do you feel your team's at as far as their best abilities?
Well, I don't know what that ceiling is, but I know that we're starting to go in that direction. terms of because we're connected and there's a synergy in what we're doing. Now, what I'd like to see happen is our offense and defense to come on the same page for each game instead of being one or the other. That'll take some practice and that'll take some continued pushing forward. But, typically our teams have always been really good in February and March. And I told our guys all season we would continue to ascend as the season went on. And that certainly seems to be the case right now.
Kind of thinking,
Karen said you jumped in the shoot around a little bit. Is that the key to getting these lopsided conference wins?
I did. I felt like we were going through the motions at the beginning of the shoot around, so I pulled them off the court, took them into the locker room. We had a little talk, and so the guys came out with more focus and energy after that.
do you preach to your guys how important an opportunity like Saturday is, a conference game, top 25 team, for where you want to take your team at the end of the year, or is it just business as usual? How do you approach games?
Well, the approach we've taken this year, and I haven't typically done this every year, is, we've done in groups of two. Each week is 2 games, pretty much. So, we got 2 games, we can do 2-0 this week. That's the goal. We're 1-0 now. The guys are off tomorrow, and then we'll prepare for Houston as we go forward. So, the guys understand. I mean, they're an outstanding team. Kelvin's one of the best coaches, the Hall of Fame coach. And what they do is very difficult to prepare for, so we'll have to do a great job as a coaching staff and as a team over the next 2 days. But me bringing that up is something that they're already aware of.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.